Welcome to Subramani. December is the feeling guilty month. It's the hangover month or whatever you want to call. When we sit back and say, oh, I should have done this, I didn't do this, these are the resolutions that I made. And I didn't stick to them. I joined the gym in the month of January. I went till the 5th of January and then on 17th of January, then on 28th of January, then 15th February. 17th February, 22nd February, and then 2 days in March, and after that I started blaming my travel, my whatever, what have you, and I dropped going there. So I'm not talking of resolutions in general, but I'm talking of financial resolutions. Even in financial resolutions, we make a lot of resolutions which we don't stick to. So here I am trying to tell you that resolutions are difficult to make and difficult to stick to. In fact, if you go to subramani.com, there are a lot of articles I have written on resolution. What are the resolutions you could make? What are the resolutions that you will not stick to? Why you will not stick to? By reading all that, hopefully some of the resolutions that you make, you will stick to. But I think the book Atomic Habits has at least taught us that we can make that small change, that 1% change per day kind of a thing, rather than thinking that you will make some dramatic changes. For people who want to give up cigarettes or sugar or something like that, it is the small changes that you can make. Though of course there are people like Pattu who just went and said, oh, from tomorrow I'll not have sugar. I don't know whether it is possible for all of us. I'm sure it is not possible for me. So don't try something very dramatic and all that and say, oh, and even if you were to try something dramatic, don't try 2, 3, 4, 5 things at a time, because it's not going to happen. Make small changes. I think that's a brilliant book, why it says that small atomic changes is what you should be aiming at, and you are capable of doing it. Why do we make resolutions? Maybe because it's fashionable to make resolutions, but we also realize that then it leads to regret. So like I said, scene 1 act 1, scene 2 act 1, scene 3 act 1. So 2021 December you have regrets, 2022 December you have regrets, and December 2023 you have regrets. Makes no sense at all, right? So what happens is we postpone something to a virtuous tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to be very virtuous. So tomorrow I'll stop smoking, tomorrow I'll start running, tomorrow I'll start going to the gym, tomorrow I'll give up sugar. It's very easy. So on the 20th or 22nd of December, when you're making the resolution, you're buying yourself another 8 days time. That's all. You're saying, okay, from 1st of January I will do this. No, start doing it today. Make those small changes in life. And what could this be? It could just be a simple thing. Like I keep saying, investment philosophy statement, start creating one. I'm not saying you will complete the statement, but at least start. You have 42 investments, sit down and declutter. Right? You need maybe 5, maybe 7. Start decluttering, start redeeming. Don't worry too much about capital gains tax. In any country, if you make gains, you will lose, you will pay tax. So do something. Don't worry too much about all those things, right? If you want to shift from real estate to equity, make that shift. Sell your real estate, put that money in a ultra short bond fund, and do an STP. Am I saying you should be selling your real estate? No, I'm not saying that. Perhaps we are at the cusp of a big boom in real estate. I don't know. It's your call. Will you live with regret? That's the only question to answer. So I have real estate which I want to sell. I will sell today and I will put it. What you should do is a question that you have to answer yourself. Are we perhaps at the peak of an equity market and the bottom of a real estate market? Is this a time to remove money from equity, put it into debt, or remove money from equity and buy that extra room that you wanted? I'm not answering any of those questions. I'm just saying whatever you want to do, start making small changes. So if you want to you sell a house, you fix a price in your mind and tell your broker that you want to sell the house. Will the price go up tomorrow? I don't know. Will it grow up 30% in next 2 years? I have no clue. I'm not even answering those questions. I'm not making an attempt. But I can, and I also I'm seeing people make some small changes. For example, a friend, she's got 2 young kids, and she's getting them to say thank you to their servants on a regular basis, saying, telling the kids that look, we are not capable of doing all our work, therefore we need their help, and this help comes at a price, and therefore the money that I earn and your father earns is put together, and we use part of it to pay for these services. So children should understand that there are people who are willing to help you for a fee. That's all. It's as simple as that. Tomorrow when you go to a doctor, or whether you go to a financial planner or an investment advisor or anything, it remains more or less the same, right? There is something which you don't know, therefore you go to an outside professional and you pay. Now you can't treat a person very badly just you're paying well. Can you imagine shouting at a neurosurgeon or a cardiac surgeon? No. But you think, oh, it's a servant who is replaceable, so I can shout. Right, that's not right. So teaching those attitudes, this is not just about finance, right? But yes, finance plays an important role. Children learn from parental behavior that if a person is educated, good looking, well dressed, sitting in a proper office, you cannot shout. But at a servant, yes, you can shout. No, these are things which you have to teach. This is partly financial and partly behavioral, right? So some of the things which you can do, start doing, is first write the investment goals, right? So that your investment philosophy statement will also be part of your investment goals. You say, okay, these are my financial goals. Sit down with your family and decide what are your financial goals, because these are not your goals, these are the family goals. Your daughter is 21 years of age, she's going abroad to study. You and your wife have decided that you will go there to see the graduation ceremony. Should it be a surprise for her? Should you tell her that you are going? All that is different, but at least sit down and plan, saying in 2025 when my daughter graduates, or 2023 when my daughter graduates, I will want to be there, and for that I will require so much money, and that will be here, right? So this is the short-term goal. Long-term goals could be your retirement, your whatever, your reallocation of assets, any of those things. So start writing down your goals. It is very useful. Also, if you have not done it already, convert a part of your savings or a big part of your savings into investment. Don't make the mistake of thinking you're investing in gold or investing in LIC endowment policies or any endowment policies, right? You're not, you're wasting your time. These are savings. Savings will not grow your wealth. It will not help you create the 10, 20, 30 crores that you require for retirement. That has to be an aggressive investment, which is equity or perhaps real estate, depending on how much you understand the real estate cycle and what is your ticket size. Can you do a 2 crore investment in real estate without borrowing? That is investing. Borrowing 90% of the money and buying a real estate is not investing. That is, that is just buying one extra thing with a leverage. So leverage investments are more difficult to estimate about things going wrong. So be careful about that. Also say that I will live a simple, frugal life and spend money on things which I enjoy. So it could be, for somebody, it could be buying a big car. For somebody, it could be taking holidays. For somebody, it could be retire early to chant the Vedas, maybe. Whatever it is. Make sure that you understand what is your ikigai or what is your passion, what you wish to do, and concentrate on that. And for that, yes, you have to be employed because you need the money that is required. So put together all the money, live a frugal life, put together the corpus, do the asset allocation and say, okay, now I can retire at 52 and I will start doing these things. Perfectly all right. You decide what you want, make your priorities right? Then also decide that I will have regular conversations about money with my family, which could be your younger, your kids, your siblings or your parents, right? Telling your parents why it is important to make a will is as important as telling your 24-year-old daughter that since she has already bought a house, she should also be making a will, right? So it's not just making a will, that's the example that I'm giving. But from everything saying, okay, this is the way you can save money, this is the way you can invest money. Your parents also may not know it, your children may not know it, you yourself may not know it. So then what you do is you start learning more about finance by visiting good blogs like subramani.com. Sorry for the plug-in, but yeah. And there are books to read. There are books here. It's not that just my books. There are many other books like Atomic Habits, which I'm speaking about, the Checklist Manifesto, then Being Mortal, if your parents are older and you are about 50 years of age. Being Mortal, again Atul Gawande. These are all good books to read. I mean, don't read only finance, right? You read other non-finance books also. In fact, I need more non-finance books than I read finance books. Then say at my current level of knowledge, I will not invest in direct equity. To invest in direct equity, I'll sit and learn. It is not easy to know why a Coal India was not a good buy at 300, but it is a good buy at